You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
5 minutes to go in the opening period, and the Avalanche score. Nathan MacKinnon in front, slaps it home, and the Avalanche draw first blood.
Lankinen forces the turnover off the stick of Kirill Kaprizov. The unfortunate turnover ends up on the tape of Nathan MacKinnon. He ain't going to miss. He doesn't at this time either. Scores his 19th of the year, 14:54 of the first. Avalanche open it up with a 1-0 advantage. That's your score after one period of play. Tom Reid upstairs in the Al Shaver press box. You'd hate to have a turnover anytime, Tom, but especially when it's Nathan MacKinnon there waiting in the slot. He ain't going to miss very often.
No, you're right, Kevin. He didn't have to work too hard on that one. Also, it came to him. He was coming in from the right of the goaltender. He got a piece of it and then puts it away in a hurry, and he's done that numerous times. We've talked about it already, but he's a treat to watch. But this is a good hockey club. When you look at the speed of this club, I mean, their transitions game is awesome. So your defense have got to be ready all the time because, once they get it, they're coming north.
All right, let's get to our questions here, and we'll start with, again, text us, 64686. In part one, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to tomorrow night to see the Wild and Sabres in St. Paul. We'll figure out intermission number 2 when we get to it, but text us, 64686. We'll start with this one from Richard Keach. And the 612 area code. Tom, the Wild have 2 outstanding goaltenders. How do they choose which one to start on any given night?
Well, they have a new dartboard, I think, in the dressing room. They throw the darts at, but they look at each game and how a team has performed, how a player's performed against different teams, and how they feel that time also. And you want to make sure you put your best foot forward on that. Both these guys want to play. They're both healthy right now. Minnesota is very fortunate to have that in their wheelhouse. But I think at the same time, coaches, they talk to Freddie Shabbat, who's the goaltending coach here, has done a terrific job of picking the right player each time. But the coach makes the ultimate decision based on the information he's getting from the rest of his staff here. But it goes back and forth, and you have to look at how confident a team might be going in against another team. And that's one thing you look at also. What kind of record do they have against that team?
Jeremy from Plymouth wants to talk about the adversary. You got the Colorado Avalanche here, led by their captain, Gabriel Landeskog. He's an easy guy to root for if you're an Avalanche fan. He's also an easy guy to root against if you're playing against him because he's a tough, hard-nosed individual. But what a story that he battled back from that injury and got back on the ice.
Yeah, you're right, Kevin. I mean, he was out for quite a while, and I think Joe has touched on that already. But the fact is he had a major surgery on his knee. Had to scrape off the cartridge off the bone, the cartilage, I should say, off the bone, and had to replace it with the cartilage from a cadaver. And it took a while for that to heal to get to the point where he can play. And when I was talking to some of the media before the game, they were saying he's picking up his pace a little bit. He's a little bit slow at the beginning stages of this year, but all of a sudden he's starting to get that speed. And we saw that a couple times here in the first period.
This one from Limey in Franny about Brock Nelson. That was a guy that was hot. A hot rumor was he was coming to Minnesota, ended up signing with the Avalanche, and then signed an extension in the offseason. How has Brock Nelson fit in Colorado?
He's doing a pretty good job. He's got 12 points in the 23 games coming into this, and Brock Nelson's been around for a long time. Also his 14th year right now. The youngster out of Warroad was with the Islanders all those years that he spent that time there. But, of course, he is a little bit of a pedigree when it comes to winning Stanley Cups or winning awards also. His Uncle Dave helped win the gold medal in 1980. His grandfather and his great uncle both were involved in the 1960 Olympics. So he's doing well, but he's a big body also that can win some draws for you. You look at a guy like Brock Nelson at 6'4", 205 pounds. He's got that size and that reach to be able to do those things.
He's a center for the Colorado Avalanche. The 952 wants to talk about a center for your Minnesota Wild. Danila Yurov. Tom, in your mind, could he be a true number one center long-term for the Minnesota Wild?
Well, he could be. I mean, we're still waiting to see how he breaks out and how he does right now. But now they've got him between 2 pretty good players. And I said that a little bit earlier, the fact that when you're a center iceman like that, you want to play with good players to make you better also. But between Kaprizov and Zuccarello, that's where we find Yurov, and I think he's doing just fine. I think they're pretty happy with his play at this point.
From August Johansson, At the 651 area code. I was trying to figure out if that was two names or if they were from Johansson, but I don't think there's a Johansson, Minnesota, or a Johansson anywhere other than Marcus Johansson on the wing on the second line here for the Wild. It says, Tom, what do you think? The way the Wild have been playing in November, has that changed Bill Guerin's appetite for being a buyer at some point this season, especially around the trade deadline?
Look, general managers go up and down depending on how the team is doing also, and you're always talking to GMs on the other side, just to kind of a feel to who might be available if we need somebody. Who would that person be? And is there anybody in our squad you're looking at? I mean, they make these calls all the time. They talk to each other, and usually it's in a friendly nature, although if the trade goes sour, then you're not very happy with what's happened. But I think at the same time, when it comes to trades, I'm sure that Bill Guerin, like the rest of the general manager around the league, are looking what can we do to improve our hockey club and make sure we stay under the cap.
Jeff from Wisconsin says there's a lot of travel fatigue around the National Hockey League, even within your own division. Jeff is wondering what you think about going to like a WCHA-type schedule from back in the old days, especially within your division. Why do you need to travel to St. Louis or Colorado twice? Couldn't you just play them back-to-back and make them two-game tilts?
You know, they did that a few years ago. They tried that with back-to-back games in the same area, but it didn't quite work. I mean, it was... maybe 2 games in Colorado, then 2 in Edmonton. You come back for a couple against the same team. And it just doesn't seem to be working. And I agree, it would save them a lot of money. There's no question. When you're talking aircraft fees, it's got to be pretty expensive. But I don't think we're going to see that in the near future.
From the 651 area code, this says, Tom, did you enjoy playing in those celebrity hockey games back in the day around the metro area? Says he remembers playing against you at Aldrich Arena. It was a charity supporting Johnson and Harding youth hockey. Do you remember lacing up the skates once your playing days were over?
Yeah, I played quite a few different games, celebrity games afterwards. But the problem I ran into is because if you've been a pro, the young kids want to show you up. They want to try and beat you. And as long as I have a stick in my hand, they're going to have a hard time getting around me.
That's right. From Courtney in Wisconsin, we're seeing great stuff from Jesper Wallstedt and Philip Gustafsson this year. But how much do you think the lasting impact of the Flower is they're wafting around there, especially that goaltending tandem? Even though he's not playing with them right now and he's not a backup to either of them, how much of his legacy is carrying on?
Well, you know what? It is wherever he goes. I mean, that's just the way he is. We saw it in Montreal. We saw it in Pittsburgh. We see it wherever he goes. I mean, even in Washington, when he played his final game against Washington, if you remember, Kevin, Washington team went into the dressing room, and there was their captain, Ovechkin, went into the dressing room and said, get out here and congratulate one of the best goaltenders of all time. And they all got in the line and came up here. And Flower has had an impact in hockey all over the world.
No doubt. All right, Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tom Reid in the Al Shaver Press Box with part 1 of Tom Reid's Hotline. You text us at 64686. Who's going to go see the Wild and Sabres tomorrow night in St. Paul? It's going to be Richard Keach. I'll reach out to you, Richard, and congratulations. If you didn't win and you want to go, well, you could listen in the second intermission. We'll have more tickets to give away to a future Minnesota Wild home game. Or you could simply log on to wild.com/tickets. After one period of play, the Avalanche lead the Wild 1-0. Full recap is next. This is Wild Hockey presented by Grand Casino. The best place to go for all your Minnesota Wild audio needs is the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. Everything Minnesota Wild related, including highlights, press conferences, players, coaches, general managers, and more. It's available on the official Minnesota Wild podcast presented by Acrisure. It's all just a click away at wild.com/podcast.